Hello all, today we are solving LeetCode problem number 696, count binary substrings. So we are given a binary string called S. So you have to return the non-empty substrings that have the same number of zeros and ones, and all the zeros and ones should be grouped consecutively. So which means you should return all the possible combination of substrings which will have same number of zeros and ones. So if you see this example, you consider this piece of string, a substring which is 0011. So here you have two ones, and two zeros, ones and zeros. Also you have one ones and zeros, which is nothing but this. So and this should be consecutive. So and 0011 is also consecutive, so which means you have two possible combination. So you will increment the count by 2, right? And if you are again check this 0 0 1, in this piece of substring also you have ones and zeros, right? So due to that reason also you have one possible combination. So this is about the consecutive zeros and ones. So if this occurs, you have to increment the count by 1, and you have to return the total number of substrings having equal number of zeros and ones which is consecutive, which occurs consecutive. You have to return the count basically. So if you consider this example 1, you have this given string for which you have 1 2 3 4 5 and 6, and hence you return the answer as 6. So how do we solve this problem? So we have one major observation, which is nothing but when you consider this first let us have 5 length of a string, so which is 0 0 1 1 0. So here you can say that you will have two possible combination. By looking at, we can say 2, which is nothing but 0 1 and 0 0 1 1, right? And again you can say there is one more as well, which is nothing but 1 0, right? So I think that is also given here, 1 0. So these are all the combination here, but how do we find this as the combination, right? So when we start from the first point, we iterate to the right. So we have 0 and next a 0. So now you have only zeros, there is no ones. So when one occur, you can see here that zeros presence is 2 times and one's presence is 1 time, right? So now you will get one possible combination. So how? That is minimum of count of 0 and minimum of count of 1. You have 1, so that is the possible combination you are getting. So if you have one more ones here, you have 2. The occurrence of 0 is 2 and occurrence of 1 is again 2. So again when you find it, you will have minimum of these two, count of 0 and count of 1, which is nothing but 2. So totally result will have, since this is a possible substring and this is also a possible substring, you will have 1 plus 2 added to the result. So this is the idea behind which we are finding this solution. But we will not be using exact count of 0 and count of 1 as the answer, I mean variables, because instead of that there is a very simple way of handling this. We will have the following variables. We will have a previous and we will have a result to track count, and also current to track current value is 1 or 0, because we have only two possible combination, which is either zeros or ones. So it is due to that reason we will have this current variable which will have the track of either zeros or ones. So we iterate from left to right. So for we start from 1, not a 0th position, because we need to track the previous value. So 1 to length of yes times, and we have to check the first occurrence is 0, right? And first index position, that is 0th position, 0th index position is 0, and the first index position is also 0. So we will have the previous initially be 0 and current initially be 1, right? So now since we let me erase this. So current will be equal to 1, right? Since we start at the first position, we will check the previous value, what exactly it is. If it matches, for example, the first value is 0 and the previous is also 0, then current becomes 2, right? And previous will remain 0, right? And we move to the next position. Okay, since these previous and current is equal, we will track the number of occurrence of that in current. So this will indicate either 0 or 1's value, right? Because we don't care about zeros and ones, we just care about the count of it, so that we can use the minimum function to find the number of possible outcomes. So now when we are moving to next iteration, which is 1 comes, what happens here is you can say the previous not equal to current, and the s of previous is not equal to s of current. So what we do is we update the previous by existing current, and we update the current value to be 1. So we track the number of zeros in the previous and number of ones in the current, right? So now to add to the result, we add a result plus or equal to minimum of prev and current. So we repeat the same thing. Let me show a try run for this problem 0 0 1 1. So we know 0 0, the current will be equal to 2 and previous equal to 1. So in terms of 0 0 1, the current will update to 1 and previous will update to 2. Also result will be also 0. So now result equal to minimum of 1 and 2, which is nothing but it will be incremented by 1. This should be plus 1. So similarly this applies here, because you have, when it is 0 0, you will have the result as 0 only, because the minimum occurrence of the previous will be 0. Sorry, this will be initially 0. So minimum of 2 and 0 is 0, so result will be updated by 0. So now the next occurrence of 1, which is now you have result equal to 1 in the previous iteration. So now you will have current equal to 1 sorry, current will be 2, my bad, and previous also will be 2, and the loop ends, right? So you did not do any calculation, so when you exited out of the loop also you will do the same calculation. You will add result plus or equal to minimum of 2 and 2, so which means result will update to get update to 1 plus 2 is equal to 3, so result equal to 3. So this is the update which you will get, and you will return the answer because there is 3 possible combination for this particular string. So this is the way we solve this problem, and the time complexity for this will be big O of n, because we are using a linear loop for iteration. So with this observation, let us go ahead and code this up. We start with the result equal to 0 and followed by previous equal to 0 and current b1. So now for I in range, we start from 1 till length of string yes, right? And if s of I is not equal to this not equal to s of I minus 1, right? Now we increment result plus or equal to minimum of previous and current. And now we have to update the previous and the current. So since previous will be equal to current and current will be updated to 1, so if it is equals we continue, so that is what comes in the next condition. So else current increment by 1, right? And now end of this we add it with the result. So result plus or equal to, we find again minimum of previous and the previous and the current we update in the result, right? And now they we return this return result. So let us run this and submit this, and there you go. Thank you.